I'm now watching two old men look at graves.
Today's adventure takes us here to Bloomington, Illinois, in central Illinois, and to Evergreen Memorial Cemetery, which is situated right behind me. I'm at the entrance gates now. Now this cemetery goes back to about 1830. It was actually two cemeteries at the time. They merged into one. This cemetery has about 20,000 graves in there. Some famous people. We're going to go check out some fantastic monuments and some fantastic mausoleums. So come join me as we explore Evergreen Memorial Cemetery. Okay, as we enter Evergreen Memorial Cemetery, this is a cemetery I've been wanting to come through for some time. Beautiful, large cemetery. Of course, it seems like whenever I go to a cemetery during the day, they are doing yard work, so you might hear mowers and stuff in the back. I think I can go to a cemetery at midnight, and they'd probably be doing yard work. Boyd's the last name in this one. 1853. Willie Boyd. 1864. Dellie Boyd. D-E-L-L-I-E. So there's two sections to this cemetery. There's an old city cemetery, which was a separate cemetery at one time, and they've combined them at some point. Alice died 1875. This is beautiful here. Augusta. Girl Lily. 1894. Beautiful, beautiful stone. Check out this one a second. Is that Dawson? McMaster, it looks like. Born 1829, died 1888. As I scare a rabbit. This rabbit scares me. So today I brought along my father and my daughter on this field trip to Evergreen Memorial Cemetery, and they have found what I believe is the vault. You know what this is for, Caitlin?
Dead bodies.
Well, yeah, you're right, actually. So back before they were able to dig graves in the winter, the ground would be frozen. So they'd actually put bodies in here until the ground thaws.
I vividly remember you saying something like that in a video.
Yeah. So I was reading online where it said they can store 6 bodies in here, sometimes even a few more.
Stack them.
Yeah, they just stack them. They're not going anywhere. 1888, and I think this closed up in 2020, from what I read.
I wonder what's in there now, just open space.
Probably lawnmowers. I don't know. Yeah, probably nothing. That's really nice. I don't know what the significance of this is. It just says weed on it.
I think they sell marijuana.
Is that a dispensary?
Yeah.
But that's it. I mean, there's nothing else besides that. Oh, we have a crypt and a mausoleum.
I know you're being serious, but I just find that funny.
1894.
Yeah. Plum Jackman crypt.
No, it's highly unusual.
What's that? Oh, that is highly unusual.
1892.
1892, and Miss A. Davis.
Yeah, for a crypt to be
So-
dedicated to a woman.
Yeah, yeah, that is unusual.
Maybe she was important.
Yeah. A lot of times back then, they didn't even they would just say they wouldn't even acknowledge it's Mrs. Albert Davis, they would just give the husband's name.
That's very unusual.
That is unusual.
I mean, it's a big crypt with one body.
Yeah,
It's
not even a door anymore. It's just, looks like it's just welded closed. Beautiful mausoleum. That's really nice. And right behind that, we have a crypt. That looks similar to the other one.
This is 1896.
Yeah. Wasn't that one 1896 too?
Is that too?
I think so.
Why'd they split the 18 and 96?
Just, yeah, I don't know.
They're trying to be different.
Yeah.
7, 1903.
Yeah, it's almost hard to see some of these now. The ones down there, if there's any carvings on them or inscriptions, are completely wiped away. 1912 on that one.
There's branches everywhere. You cannot read that. It's
Well, it's 1896.
why did they split the 18 and the 96?
Is that too?
I think so.
Why'd they split the 18 and 96?
I don't know.
They're trying to be different.
7, 1903.
We have a Civil War marker. James Downey, 50th Illinois Infantry, Company A.
No date of death or anything.
No. It's weird because, especially in the cemeteries, usually there's an area dedicated to the Civil War and veterans, but then you see just other areas where there's just Civil War stones scattered throughout the cemetery. That's a neat monument. Yeah,
His head's gone.
head is gone. Yeah, you see that a lot with these older tombstones because the neck
It's the Washington Monument.
neck is thin. Is that Mattie? M-A-T-T-I-E? Looks like. Doolittle. Doolittle's the name there at the bottom. And this is
This guy's name is Evergreen.
daughter of somebody. Martha. Daughter of Almondo. 1857. Should we go check out the large obelisk?
It's just the Washington Monument?
It is like the mini Washington Monument.
No, it is the Washington Monument. It is. No one knew, but it's actually here. They lied about it being in DC.
It's probably only about 25 feet tall. Let's see who's on there. We have Elizabeth, daughter of J.L. and Mary Timmerman, died January 25th, 1900. We have Jacob Timmerman, died November 21st, 1855. And Jeremiah, their son, died 1886. What do we have here? Lena, their daughter, died 1876, and another daughter died 1878. And then we can see next to this obelisk, see Jeremiah, Catherine, Lena, Jacob, and Elizabeth. Fortunately, missing a hand. Right hand is gone, but head is still on. So that's good.
Oh my goodness, there's a lady there. Oh my god, those are squirrels. This is now an animal documentary. Look at them. Okay, anyways. There's the woman.
Wilhelmina, wife of F.W. Koch, born 1824, died 1897, and Louisa, their daughter, died 1859. It's like she was only about 3 years of age when she passed away. We have Frederick William Koch, born 1829, died, he was born in Prussia, died 1900 at Bloomington. It's quite a ways, quite a ways. It says Angeline Strode Turner Lamon, 1825-1859, married Ward Hill Lamon. The Eighth Circuit Court and members, including the Honorable Judge David Davis and Abraham Lincoln, future President of the United States of America, gathered here at the burial site of Angeline Turner Lamon in 1859. So where I am standing right now is where President Abraham Lincoln was standing back in 1859. It's kind of amazing. It's almost mind-boggling. Wow. Huge obelisk. This one's made out of concrete. Hard to even see the name. I see W. Wallace is the name. Appears to be Wallace. And unfortunately, a lot of this has chipped away over the years. It's the problem with concrete, is it does that. I see died 1855 there, but that's it. Yeah, this is pretty neat here. We have Sween, Stevenson, Fowers, Worrell on the steps here. So let's go up the steps. It wasn't Sween, it's Ewing, I guess. Really neat entrance to their family burial plot. And this headstone has stood out. Beautiful old headstone. Let's see if I can read anything on it.
You cannot read.
Yes. Yeah, if you use the light and you shine it on an angle, it helps bring the letters out. Although this one is so weathered that even with that, it's unreadable.
Try it on this one.
This one probably works a little bit better. This one's still hard to read. I see died Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, that one's difficult. And this one here, I see infant. Difficult to read as well. And I have to check out this one over here. Died 1848. That was a long time ago. Ruth Greenman, age 55, which means she was what, born 1793? Yeah, that's something. Freemason symbol on that one. You have the surname there, Greenman. And this one not as readable. Looks like John Greenman. He died, it's like 1872.
Born back in the 1700s.
1700s. Really nice monument.
1923 and 1931.
Look at that, there's a slip. I like the tree. This is the Pike family. Don't know if that was a good angle or not. I got elephants. This one's readable. David Hitch died. Yeah, that's how you get here.
As we look off into the distance here, not only do we have some beautiful markers, but we have in the background there, you see the American flag. That is one of several soldier sections that are in this cemetery. So we're going to go check this out. I don't know if it's just exclusively one war or multiple wars or what the details are. As you see cannonballs, 5 of them to be exact, stacked on each corner. And it says, "Our honored dead," with an anchor and cannons painted there, and got some rifles and swords painted there.
Are you allowed in here?
Yes, we are allowed in here. In memory of the unknown soldiers of the Civil War, erected May 30th, 1928, by the ladies of GAR, Emma, blah, blah. We have Spanish-American War veterans.
Wow.
A lot of Spanish-American War veterans. This must be Civil War. Every old cemetery I go in, there are Civil War, War of 1812, Spanish-American War. It's just amazing. This one, John Hotchkiss, says records lost. We have Ohio here. Yeah, it's interesting how some of the markers are out in the cemetery and others are in certain dedicated areas.
now watching two old men look at graves over there for soldiers. It's really warm out here, like really warm. But... oh, that's fair.
We come here to the monument of Dorothy Gage. See if I thought there'd be a placard here. She was a 6-month-old girl when she died.
Is that made of wood?
It's made of wood. That's a tree. So she was 6 months old when she died. Fortunately, she was a niece of a woman whose husband, Frank Baum, wrote The Wizard of Oz. And Dorothy is the character in The Wizard of Oz. And this is the Dorothy that his characters were named after. I don't know that she's buried in this spot though, because you'd think there would be some kind of marker. But that's a beautiful, beautiful monument to her. Okay, I did find a placard here where it says, well, Dorothy was born to Sophie Jewell and Thomas Gage. 5 months later, the family was devastated by her death. Shortly after this, Thomas and Sophie left Bloomington for Aberdeen, South Dakota. Dorothy's uncle, Frank Baum, named the main character for Dorothy in his book, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, to give small comfort to his wife, Maud. In 2017, that tree that we see in the background was carved out. What a wonderful monument for Dorothy. So I saw this, and I've seen this before. I believe this to be an Indian burial mound, at least in northern Illinois. That's what they would be. I don't know the significance of these two posts. They do have names on them. Both 2016, but there's nowhere that says what this mound is, but this is definitely indicative of an Indian burial mound. Although I don't see any placards or any kind of information in that regard. But I assume that's what this is. It is a hill, and that's how the Indians buried their dead. And they made a hill. Yeah. Let's see what we have here. Now we're coming into the Bloomington Memorial Cemetery part, exiting the old city cemetery. Look at that. I mean, there's no name, no inscription on it, which is odd. Maybe it's vacant. Maybe it's for rent. What do you think? Think it's for rent?
Yeah, then no one would think of breaking in because
No.
I live here.
I mean, these are some old
What
doors.
are you doing?
I want to see if anyone answers.
That's not how it works.
It's not how it works.
No.
You could tell there used to be some iron gates here. Those are gone. Actually, one iron gate, because the hinges were there, and then it latched right there. And that's gone.
Look, old man's over there.
Oh yeah?
I
Yes.
was saying how compared to you, he's ancient.
Are you sure that's not a ghost?
I'm pretty sure it might be a ghost. It's wearing white after all.
Maybe. Remarkable mausoleum, though. And speaking of remarkable, look at this family plot.
Hey, have you seen?
No, we have to get to that. A lot of stuff we have to get to. David Davis. David Davis is the name here, and you can see that right there. What a beautiful family plot. The lawnmowers are following me as they usually do when I get to cemeteries. Let's enter through here. Look at this beautiful work. Very tall obelisk. George Davis, born in Bloomington, 1842, died in 1917. And Ella, his wife, died in 1921. And here's David Davis. Born at the Rounds, Sassafras Neck, Cecil County, Maryland, 1815 to 1886. I believe he was a politician of some kind. I'm not 100% sure. A son born and died. Shame to see. Even if you had money and were a politician, somebody with power, it didn't matter. It didn't save your children. Can't buy life. Just look at this. I've been in the cemetery now about an hour, and I've barely scratched the surface. Just incredible. McClune Monument, John McClune. Large obelisk surrounded by his family here. Not too much remains of this. And then this caught my eye. It's more modern, but the architecture's very nice. I'll let you pronounce that. Medical Doctor, 2016. Very nice monument.
I want to go walk in the shade. Oh, that looks cool.
Headstone that stood out. Beautiful old headstone. Let's see if I can read anything on it.
You cannot read. You're using the light?
Yeah, if you use the light and you shine it on an angle, it helps bring the letters out. Although this one is so weathered that even with that, it's unreadable. Try it on this one. It's a little bit better. This one's still hard to read. Yeah. Unless he died. So here's a really interesting monument that I wanted to show. So back in 1948, right over here they have a memorial site for veterans, and they were doing a memorial for the veterans. And overhead was a T-6 Texan flying overhead as part of the ceremonies to commemorate the veterans. Well, on its second pass, the aircraft actually crashed right here and hit this tree just yards away from where they gathered for the Veterans Memorial. Unfortunately, one of the two people inside the aircraft passed away, but they put up this monument, fantastic monument, to the memory of the man that perished in this accident. And this is just a great, this tree, I guess, was dying back in 2015, and instead of cutting it down, they did this. And consequently enough, I was able to actually pilot a T6 Texan years ago. Really fun airplane to fly. Very maneuverable. So, don't know what caused it to crash, but neat memorial. I did find a plaque here about the accident that happened. It was May 31st, 1948. A group of citizens gathered here at that Civil War Veterans Enclosure to honor those that have given their lives, and we'll go check out that enclosure in just a second. On the second pass, the plane crashed into that tree that I just showed you, killing Fromm and severely injuring Tully. It took years for the cemetery personnel to determine that this was the tree that they crashed into. In 2015, the tree had to come down, so the cemetery employees felt something more needed to be done with the wood from the tree, and they hired chainsaw artist Tim Gill, who made that wonderful monument of the T6 aircraft. Very nice. And there's the monument there in the background. Okay, before we head over to check out the Civil War area, this was just neat. W.B. Probosco, 1879. And they've got a really nice family plot here. Let's see what we have in here as we go into the family plot with the Probosco monument. We have Anthony here, 1906. John Probosco. John died very young. And then just a line of Probosco family. Charlotte, Louis Bacon. That's a great middle name, by the way. William Bacon Probosco. Mary, John, and Charlotte. What a great monument to that family. And it's right here at this intersection where four driveways meet. All right, let's take a walk over to Civil War section over here. And you can see here is where the aircraft crashed in 1948. And only feet away is the memorial where they were having the service when that plane crashed. I'm very lucky that nobody on the ground died, honestly. And we saw something very similar to this in the old cemetery section that we were in a little bit ago. And there's a number of rows here. I'm just going to go down one row. Civil War, Civil War, Civil War. It's still mind-boggling the amount of Civil War soldiers I see in these old cemeteries. I mean, it really brings it home how many soldiers died fighting for freedom in the Civil War. And you know, these are all Civil War. Really remarkable. The nice red, white, and blue base with an urn here at the top, and then next to it is the flag. Okay guys, another awesome mausoleum. Van Schoik, looks like. Probably butchered that one. I mean, these are just so old, so old. No longer have glass in that door. Metal in there now. Probably broke over the years. The urns have been covered up, so there's no weeds or anything growing out of them. So I don't know how old this is, but this is an old mausoleum. And we do have some tombstones here. We have Minnie Van Schuik, 1943, and on this side we have Mildred Van Schuik, 1968.
That guy there was a brigadier general in the Civil War.
Oh, really? I'll have to check that out after the Van Schuik monument or mausoleum. And here we have Merle Freeman. Don't know if this is related to the Van Schuiks at all. It is within 2 feet of the Van Schuik mausoleum. Let's check out this. My father indicated there's a brigadier general from the Civil War, which is always a nice find in these old cemeteries. George Frederick Dick, Brigadier General, Company D, 20th Indiana Voluntarily Infantry, Major, Colonel. (1861 to 1865). So he was through the entire Civil War. That's amazing. It's really amazing. Wow. Bruner Cox Monument, because I noticed the statue atop this monument, beautiful statue. A woman knelt down, kind of in a somber pose. And we have George Bruner and George Cox. Hence the Bruner Cox. Got Clara Bruner, which is George's wife. And we got, see if I can see what this one is. C.E. Barnum, his wife, and that's George Bruner's wife. Really nice. Back up here. A lot of steps and things I could trip on. Get that in the full frame. And across the drive here is this spectacular monument. And what I'm going to do, there is a storyboard for it right over here. Let me go read the storyboard first so we get some information on it. Here we go. Charles Oldhouse Radbourne, 1854 to 1897. Inducted in the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1940. Pitched professionally for 11 years. He won 310 games, lost 191. That is remarkable for you non-sports fans or you non-baseball fans. That is absolutely remarkable. 1884, he won 62 games and lost 12. That is unheard of today. I mean, pitchers will never pitch that many games. He struck out 411 men during a month. I mean, that's mind-boggling. That is great. An old hoss. I have seen everything now. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. There's a man in an electric wheelchair who has a dog. I don't know if you could see that. Like he's on a sleigh or something. All right, let's get back to what we're doing here. All right, there we go. Old hoss. Look at that. That is just beautiful. And on here, it's inscribed. I see 1880, I see 1939, 1891. His playing years must have been 1880 to 1891. Hall of Fame, 1839. Although I think that said 1939 rather. I think it said 1940 on the storyboard. Although I'm not sure. What a great monument. Okay guys, I tell you what, this is probably one of the top 5, easily one of the top 5 cemeteries I've been in yet. Now I know I haven't done a lot of cemeteries in Chicago. You have Roseland, you have Graceland or Rose Hill, Rose something, I don't remember the name. You have many cemeteries in Chicago that are spectacular, and I do plan on doing those. It's just they've been covered so much that I want to do the less covered cemeteries. So, awesome cemetery. Thank you for coming with me today. And until next time, keep exploring.